Yo, yo, yo! What's up? I was looking through my old notes and I found this thing, and it says Bible verse: "Blessed is the man that does not look to see what his neighbor is doing." Don't know why that's there, but I could probably figure out why. Blessed is the man that does not see what his neighbor is doing. Latona and the Rustics, the other video we talked about. Same theme. But this one I want to expand on. Because when I was in high school, I had a different sense of honor. I came from a Middle Eastern background. My sense of honor was huge. You dishonor yourself, you dishonor the ancestors, you dishonor your family. It's big in my tribe. Honor was a big thing. Still is a big thing. But in high school, people gossiped and they did many dishonorable things. But the main thing was gossip. And I did as much as I could to stray away from gossip, because people would try to pull you into it, and I'd have to walk away and isolate myself from that, because to me, gossip was a sin. And I said that to them: gossip is a sin, because they're Christian and they have their ideas of what is what. And I don't even know if it was a sin, 7 deadly sins in the Bible. I have no idea if gossip is a sin. Probably is. It probably doesn't say gossip is a sin. It says something like that: blessed is the man that does not look onto his neighbor. Blesses the man. So that was something, I struggled with, and that set me apart from everybody else. It was definitely something a man does not do, was gossip. That was a huge thing for me. No gossip whatsoever, even till this day, because it's dishonorable. Why should I care what another man is doing with his time? I should care about myself. I shouldn't be selfish, but I shouldn't meddle in someone else's affairs. It's not my problem. They come to me and they ask for help, I will help them. But to hear from rumor to rumor to rumor was just a no-no for me. And it was a waste of time, too. I was on my journey to getting valedictorian. I was on my journey to being team captain of the soccer team. I was on my journey to do this, and that. And I had my own stuff I was dealing with at the same time. So maybe that was just my thing. I had goals, long-term goals set in place to where I did not have time to be gossiping. So maybe my mind just came up with that. Gossip is dishonorable. But I think it is. It is very dishonorable. I don't know what culture you come from, and if in that culture gossip is a big deal, but to me, to talk even about something, small talk about something that does not matter as much, is even seen to me as just irrelevant. In my culture, we talk politics, we argue with each other, that's just what we do, and then we hug at the end. You know what I mean? But here in the West, it's very interesting because people will talk about nonsense. And they'll often in that talking about nonsense, they'll often gossip to somebody else about somebody else. And it's like, what? Come on, dude. What is this? You know? Why do I care about that? And internally it's intriguing, like, yeah, tell me this beef about somebody that doesn't matter, because we want to make ourselves feel better. So I instantly go, yeah, tell me, in my head. But that's just a demon. And I have to shut that shit down. And literally what I do to the person is I just make a joke that shuts down what they're saying and at the same time changes the subject. Like, for example, the other day, somebody was trying to gossip with me, maybe a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh yeah, that's just because you're so fun to be around. I made a joke. It was pretty true, yeah. You're fun, you're happy to be around, is what I said. I made a joke, and I directed the attention onto them. And they instantly wanted to talk about themselves. See, if you give somebody something else to talk about that is relevant to them, in this case I did the most blatant thing you could do, they will gravitate towards that thing. They will not, worry about this other person. Because it's whatever. A lot of times I'll get women trying to gossip with me and effeminate men. I think that's an interesting thing. Sorry, there's like a dust particle. I'm like trying to get it out of my face. That's a cat hair. That is a cat hair. Okay. Okay, buddy. So, God. That's just an interesting observation. I like to be honest. I'm tired of being politically correct. That's what I've observed. But at the same time, I've seen really, big guys, like bodybuilder types, want to gossip. So, there's an interesting point too. That big macho tough guys like to gossip. And I think it is in the book The Way of Men by Jack Donovan. He talks about this deficient masculinity, I think is what it was called. And that they're deficient, in masculinity. And so they want to, maybe they're lacking something, so they want to fill the void. I can't remember quite what it was, but so maybe they're strong, they're big bodybuilders. They got the muscle, but maybe they aren't courageous. They aren't honorable. They haven't mastered what they wanted to master. So they've got all these insecurities. But they place judgment and they gossip about others. For what reason is stupid. Stupid reason to do. But gossip does, I went to an international school where there was, I was with a lot of Chinese students, a lot of people from Asia, and they didn't gossip nearly as much as the Westerners. They still gossiped. But it wasn't nearly as much. And I've always thought about that. You know? Like why does the West gossip more than some parts of the East? Because the East, I've seen Eastern people gossip a lot. But I just thought of that. Is there more to see here? Or is it unfulfillment? Unfulfillment. We're so unfulfilled that we have to talk about somebody else. And we're jealous and maybe envious of them in some ways. So that's why we gossip. It's our ego trying to show how better we are than them. But in reality, it's not really true, is it? Growing up, people would say, "You're so skinny." Even my own father would just beat me on how I am skin and bones. He'd verbally just, spew that. And I came to realize that they were jealous of how it was harder for me to maybe gain weight. They were jealous of that I could eat whatever I wanted. From their perspective, I could eat as much as I wanted and I'd gain nothing, which wasn't true. But that was their perspective. So they were jealous of that. That wasn't true. I had a very clean diet, lots of spinach, lots of fish, lots of vegetable mixes and curry. Growing up, I had soup, very clean diet. That's how I was able to stay thin, okay? To clear that up. And I was also running miles and miles. I was a soccer player. But they're jealous. And if you just say it blatantly to their face, "Why are you jealous?" they'll tell you yes. It's very interesting. And they'll say, I had this happen recently, they'll say, "Let's switch bodies. And then you'll see how hard it is for me." But when you gossip, you instantly put up a barrier instead of understanding. Why are you this way? I want to learn why. When you gossip, you instantly put up a barrier. It's you versus them, us versus them, that same mentality. I'm better. But in reality, there is something you are jealous of. So, don't dishonor yourself with meaningless conversation. A rock doesn't talk. It stands firm. Doesn't gossip. Be like a rock. And liberate yourself.